Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode. This one is a midweek recording. Well, it was supposed to be more midweek. This is more end of the week, but real life just got very hectic. School meetings, wife's got to work late nights. So yeah, recording took a bit of a backseat. But I did want to do that. I've been hanging on to this thing for a while now. I did want to do a little versus video. You might have seen the title, obviously, where we're heading with this. I wanted to compare, since Ferrari has been all the news in both as part of the Lego entry into Formula One and the Speed Champions series having always been very popular. They've always had a Ferrari in the mix, like since they started it, and they've had some iconic models in there. With the Lego, you also get the smaller sets, the poly bags. So they have a Speed Champions, which if you don't know, if you're not much of a Lego builder or a collector, the Speed Champions is sort of their racing car series based on real models. They've had a few, not fantasy models, but they've had like some of the Fast and Furious cars. They've had Brian's GTR. They've recently just dropped that pink S2000. What was the Suki's Honda S2000 from the original movie? Not from the original movie, the second movie. Too Fast, Too Furious. That's recently dropped. That seems quite popular. Okay, so the Speed Champions has always been sort of their racing focused line, and with it they also have the Speed Champions poly bags. I picked this one up a while back. And I hope it'll focus. There you go. So this is the latest one, the 2025 release, and this is also the Ferrari 499P hypercar. And with the Circuit Legends one being as popular as it has been, and following on from the last video that I did, where I sang its praises for a full, 8 minutes, I thought it'd be a cool little comparison between the two, sort of who did it best. Now, just comparing the two straight off the bat and directly wouldn't be fair to either. The Speed Champions, the polybags, they are sort of the budget sets, are very, very smaller. So in scale, these two are closer together. But price-wise, and obviously detail, because it is a very small Lego set, the detail-wise, the Hot Wheels one will probably win out. But I thought we could compare who did it best in their category. So comparing the 499P Speed Champions polybag to polybags that have come before them, Speed Champions ones that have gone before, and also the 499 in the car culture. How does that compare to other car culture sets? Obviously not Ferraris, because we haven't seen them in car culture yet, but as a Hot Wheel in the car culture, which is the premium, one of the premium lines, how does it stack up against some of the better ones that we've seen thus far? So yeah, I am. There will be a trigger warning a little bit later on. I will be tearing this one open. So if you haven't gotten your Ferrari yet, and you are a card collector, please look away when I sound the alarm, because I will be tearing this one up. And then I do the little build quickly. I will put that in fast forward because it is late at night, and I don't know how quickly I get through Lego sets these days. So yeah, that's all coming up, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, great. I've got these two set up. I'm wondering... let's yank off the plaster quickly. So this is your trigger warning. If you are a card collector and you are still looking for your first Ferrari, please look away now. So yeah, I thought we'd have a closer look at the 499. I have to keep the packaging just to prove that I had it in there. Okay. First impression is it's surprisingly heavy for something that looks fairly delicate. Hypercars tend to be, I mean, sleek and long, but not but not as bulky as some of their counterparts in other racing disciplines. It's a hefty model, because this back part is also, the black part is also metal. It's a different paint job on these. It's a flat paint on the back. If I'll hold it up to the camera, you can see that it's sort of a dull black. Obviously the decals are on point, as close to accurate as you can expect. Obviously always bearing in mind that Hot Wheels may have the licensing, but they may not always have the licensing to do all of the sponsors. They'll do as many as they can, and this one has a substantial number. If I have to run through them at the back, starting from the back, it's Santander, Ray-Ban, Richard Mille, they've got the Shell logo, obviously, the V-Power, the Michelin logo, something called Vista Jet, I think. They've got the Adler logo at the front. What is this down the side? There's more Adler ones down the side. And there's a couple that I can't quite make out. But yeah, fantastically detailed. I think, like I said, it would be unfair to compare this with the Lego Polybag. It's never going to have this amount of detail. But if I had to compare this to another hype car or one or two other hype cars for the year, the ones that we've had recently, I'd say we'd put this up against the RWB Porsche, the white one, from the Silhouettes car culture set, and I'll flash up a picture just in case you needed reminding. And then obviously the Rexy Porsche. So up against two Porsches, the Rexy Porsche. I'm not going to differentiate between the pink and the green, because they're essentially the same model with the same level of detail, just in two different colors to distinguish the chase from the regular. But in terms of execution, I'd say they are so close. Obviously the Rexy being a larger GT racing car as well, it's very close, which should come very close to this, and I think it does. Maybe the Ferrari hype for this year pushes this one up ahead just a little bit. The fact that this is a major championship winner and has been for the last couple of years, I think maybe just sneaks this one ahead of the competition. The RWB Porsche, because it's not it's basically a recolor of the others that we've seen, the purple and the black ones. They haven't, and I know the real cars, they don't differ in deco that much. They are not. They don't come with sponsorship logos. They usually have the RWB logo on the front, and then they have the name of the car usually down the side on the door sills on those RWB Porsches. So it's hard to compare those with potential others. But I think, yeah, this all in all, this probably is a candidate for the best. It does have some metal flaking, so that's I'm wondering if we should deduct some points for that. But this will probably end up being one of the best Hot Wheels premiums of the year, and maybe even of the past few years. One that I think it might still come up against is the very next release, the Eurospeed, the LaFerrari, because it's also going to be in very iconic color, as plain, clean red as we know it. So that'd be a cool comparison. But I think because this one is the first premium, this one might just edge it. So yes, there we go. This will go into the loose car box, and I will try and keep it safe. There is some paint flaking here and there. I suppose it is to be expected when you have this many different decals on it and different color logos. They even have the little Michelin man down the side. So yeah, very fine details for a non-RLC Hot Wheel. Not comparing this to the RLCs because obviously that takes it up a notch even further. But for something that's released in mass to the public or to the mainstream, this is as good as it gets, and I think as good as you can expect. So I'll put this off to one side. We'll keep it in shot. And now for the speed build. So I'm going to speed this up a bit. I don't want you guys to suffer through me sifting through parts and pieces too tiny to see. So I am, let's tear this one open. I will just mention that, and I'll mention that at the end again. What I'm comparing this to is previous Speed Champions poly bags, just because you can expect the same level of detail. And they have been very plain, the previous ones. I'll flash up a picture of the first ones. There was a Lamborghini. I don't remember the specific model. There was the blue. Sure, I'd have to go back and check. But the one that I'm really probably comparing it to is the McLaren F1 car from last year. I do have that in a drawer somewhere as well. Just because that took the licensing up a notch. So it was just at the very start of the Formula One hype from last year. And sort of preempted the Lego license for Formula One cars. But yeah, as far as Formula One cars goes, that was one of the very first ones, and that was sort of the coolness factor of it gave it an extra boost. So that's probably this one's main rival for who did it best, which model is worthy of the title of the best one yet. Okay, so let's get to it. As they say in the Top Gear Classics, cue the music. I'll just slow it down at this stage. I'm always amazed at how Lego puts together their layers to strengthen in this case, the chassis. You see that in all of their vehicles, how it's layered and engineered to give you maximum structural strength. Yeah, quite cool. Even with the smaller ones. To make sure they don't easily fall apart. Anyway, cue the music. Okay, that's it. job done. So, can you even notice that I'm not holding up the Hot Wheels 499P? Is it not as good? You decide. Let me know. Okay, I'll give my final verdict. I'll just clean this up quickly, and then yeah, I'll end this off. Okay, cool. Those are the build and the tracking, the unboxing, and these are our two 499Ps. Camera's still focusing on my face, so let's see. There we go. That's the one. That is your Hot Wheels Premium Ferrari 499P from the Circuit Legends set. Or is it this one? Is it hard to tell? No, not really. No, it's not hard to tell. Like I said, it would be unfair to compare the two directly. For the polybag, I would say that the winner is very clearly this Ferrari. The Speed Champions, it's always a nice build. The polybags are neat little sets, and I'm always amazed at how they use the parts that you usually see for one specific reason or for one specific purpose in different sets suddenly become, you know, the rear spoiler on a hypercar, or the driver's cockpit window on little race cars. So it's yeah, I like the engineering. I like how they innovate, and how they don't always mold new parts where old ones can be used. And in the case of the Hot Wheels one, I think, I don't know if I can wax any more lyrically about this. It is probably going to turn out to be one of the best Hot Wheels of the year. I've mentioned its competition. I've mentioned the upcoming competition from the same stable. But yeah, I think this one might actually also come out as a clear winner. So with that, I'll finish it off. I will post some detailed shots right after this, and also put some up on Instagram. So if you aren't following me on Instagram yet, I'll put my handle down in the screen below, or just in the it's always in the description box down below as well. Please leave me your comments on this one. Give me some feedback. What did you think of these? Are you tired of the hype yet? Are you irritated by the hype? Do you think the hype is justified? Do you want the Ferrari hype to go away and be replaced by something else? Do you have another brand that you prefer? Are you both a collector of Hot Wheels and Legos? Let me know, and yeah, send me some shots, or tag me in your builds. I'd love to see them. Okay, that's it for this week. The next video is going to be just the complete review of the Circuit Legends set, the rest of the cars. It's already been recorded, just need to edit it, and that'll be out next. Okay, keep well, have a great one. See you later, bye.